Moving along, the next question we have to answer is, what is the densest county in Texas? So the county that has the highest population per square mile. Well, we know that we can sort population per square mile from largest to smallest, all right? But if we start looking at our list, we don't even see Texas on there. It'd be hard to pick Texas out in this list. So what we want to do is look at just the counties that are in Texas. So in this case, we are going to use a filter command. So we click on the filter button again, and instead of sorting, we go to filter, and we're going to use the search command. So we click select all, so it's not selecting any of the states, and then we tell it we want to select Texas. So we just write TX, there's Texas, it's checked, we say OK. So now we have just the counties in Texas, and since we have the sorted largest to smallest, we can see here that Dallas is the most dense county in Texas, and we would just add that to our answer form. The next question is, what is the least dense county in New York? So now all we have to do is click select all, and then click again to deselect everything. And this time we type New York and we say OK. And in this case now we want the least dense county in New York. So in this case we'll sort smallest to largest, and it tells us that the least dense county in New York is Hamilton. So now we want to find out how many people are there per housing unit in Washington County, Oregon. So this way we can actually sort with two columns. So right now we're sorted on the state of New York. And so once again, let's clear that and then go to the state of Oregon. Say OK. Now there's a list of counties in Oregon. And in this case we can see Washington, but I just want to show you that you can actually sort on two columns. So we could go here and say Washington County in Oregon, OK, and this gives us the Washington County, Oregon, and we see how many people there are per housing unit, which is 2.49, and then that gets added to our answer form as well. Okay, so now we can clear so now we have the table is unfiltered, and the next question is, which state has the most counties and how many? Well, that becomes an interesting question because we can sort by county, we can sort by state, but it's going to be hard to count. I mean, we could sort by state, right? But now how are you going to count how many states, how many counties there are in each state? So, I mean, you could do it, but it would take a long time and it would be very arduous. So we're going to use a function called pivot tables, where we're going to insert what's called the pivot table. Pivot tables do our calculations for us. So it's going to be the table range of table 1, and we'll make a new worksheet. We can say OK. And now here is our list of fields, and this is where we can put them in order to do the calculation. So which state has the most counties and how many? So now we can say our first data point 1 is state. So now we have a list of all the states. Okay. And then we want to count how many counties there are in each state. So what we can do is add a value for, say, population. So now this is telling us the sum of the population in each state, which is not what we want. However, if we say to go to value and say count, we say OK, this is actually now counting how many records there are for each state, and those records, line items, are how many counties there are. So now we can see a list of the counties. And what we now we can go here, click in the number, right click, and say sort. Here's our sort command, largest to smallest, and we can see that Texas has the most counties at 254. That's a real quick and easy way to make a table, and we will use that again in some of our other assignments. So we'll see pivot tables again, so you'll get more comfortable with using them. But basically, you use your field to create rows, decide what you want to sort on, and then values for what numbers you want to either sum or count or average. You have a lot of options for calculation. Our last data point that we need to search for in this round is the 10 most populous and the 10 least populous counties. Now, a very simple way of doing that, and there's more than one way to do it, but I'm going to show you this way. We go to our population table, column, we click on our filter, and instead of searching, this time we're going to say number filters, and we say top 10. So now the filter is going to show us the top 10 items in the column population. And we say OK, and there's our top 10 counties. So we can take these county names, and all we would need to do here is sort them largest to smallest. And then we can just take this, we can copy this, and then we can click over to our answer form here, and then we can paste them. And there's our 10 most populous counties. Okay. We go back to our data, and now we go to the filter, say top 10, only this time we say bottom 10. Say OK. Let's sort it smallest to largest. So we have our smallest one first. And then all we need to do is take this. We can copy by clicking on the right mouse key. And we go back to our answer form and we paste. And there's our answers.